Welcome to Toward Wellbeing. This is Rachel. Welcome back to my series on bringing mindfulness to your child's day. So today we're going to be using physical objects to do a mindfulness activity with your child. So what I would suggest is going back through the videos and taking a look just to get some information and a bit of an introduction about the benefits of mindfulness. So these particular activities will be focusing on bringing your child's attention to the sensations in their body and also to the present moment. And there are some really great benefits to this in relation to stress and a sense of relaxation or calm and an ability to redirect their thoughts and intentionally focus them elsewhere, which is really important for our kids to be able to do and for us adults. So for this activity, I'd really like you to help your child select a token or a little talisman. It should be something that they can fit in the palm of their hand and close their hand over for us to be able to really extend on this activity. So I've got a couple of different ideas just pulled from my daughter's toys. So we have one, which is a little fabric doll. She could potentially use that one. Another idea could be a key. So thinking about your child's age and the appropriateness of different types of toys or tokens or talismans, and helping them to select something that's going to be safe and appropriate for them to use for this activity. So essentially what we want them to do first of all is notice everything that they can using their eyes about their object. So I might use the doll just because it has more things to explore. So get them to tell you as much as they can about the doll. So what can they see? So it might be wood and material. They could tell you about spots. You could ask them about the colours. So light brown, there's a little bit of pink and red. They could say black, they could say white. They could tell you about the material or the pattern. Some children might even notice the wood grain. Sorry, that's not gonna. That they can see on this particular object. So once they've explored it visually, get them to pop it in their hand and get them to weigh it. Is it heavy? Some objects might be. So for example, the key is heavier than the fabric doll. Is it heavy? Is it light? Can they bring their attention to where the doll is touching their hand, and can they see or notice the difference between the sensation of their hand that's uncovered and the part of their hand that has the doll on it? Get them to just gently wrap their fingers around it and ask them what they can feel. Is it soft to touch? Is there any resistance? So is it firm? Is it warm in their hand? Is it cold? Depending on which object you have, it will be quite different. This is a fabric, so it has already taken in the heat of my hand, whereas this plastic bug might not have yet. So get them to just tell you a little bit about the sensations. They can then use their fingers to trace the outside. Get them to pay really close attention to what it feels like as they trace their finger. So this is firm as I'm tracing around the doll's head, becomes soft as I'm tracing the fabric, firm. Get them to just trace around it. Encourage them to be as silent as possible so that they can really take in what it feels like. Get them to use their pincer fingers as well and get them to grab, not hard, but just to grab little bits of the object and see what they can feel and describe it to you. Is it soft? Is it firm? What can they feel? So there's a slight bit of cotton here, so I can feel the cotton kind of compressing. I can even slightly hear it. So get them to tell you about all of the different sensations again. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it firm? Is it soft? Can they move the object when they bend it or press it? And then I want them to squeeze it really hard, not so hard that it's going to hurt themselves, but what does it feel like in their hand? So you might also want to consider a toy that's not going to be broken if you encourage your child to squeeze it really hard. Get them to tell you which bits of the object press against which bits of their hand. So I can feel this predominantly on my thumb and my middle finger and on the palm of my hand. So get them to really think about what it feels like. You could even get them to do a relaxation breath and get them to just focus on the sensation of the doll in their hand. The purpose of this being so small and something that they can fit in their hands is if you teach them this mindfulness activity, then they can take their little object with them. They can pop it in their pocket and it can be a little talisman or something that is protective for them. So they know that when they have it in their pocket, all they need to do is grab it and they can redirect their own thoughts and that they are in control of where their thoughts go. So if they're finding themselves, in particular for older children who might be at school or might be starting to become really aware of maybe anxious or worried thought patterns, having a safety mechanism tucked into their pocket, like a little talisman, can be really helpful for them. Just knowing that it's there, it's likely to stop them from panicking or becoming overwhelmed simply by knowing that it's there and the power that it has. So practice these activities. So grabbing it in their hand, feeling the weight of it, checking the temperature, anything that they notice about the object. And then they can take it with them, as I said. So there you go. That's another mindfulness activity for your children. If you are joining me on my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you're following this on any of my other platforms, don't forget to check back the previous videos, and there'll be a couple more videos to join this one. So check back again later. Thank you.